What if your next haircut made mornings kinder, posture taller, and your smile arrive sooner? Stay with me, because in the next minutes you will get a clear path to hair that feels like you, now. Here is the promise: 1 guide, 2 classic cuts, 5 quick checks, and 1 simple test you can do at home. No guesswork, no drama, just calm confidence. Most women over 60 notice real shifts in texture and volume. Some strands soften, others get wiry. Silver threads catch light in new ways. These are not problems, they are signals. When we listen, routine gets easier, and the mirror greets us with ease instead of effort. Here is what you will get today: how to read those signals, how a pixie can free your face and your time, how a bob can balance the jaw and move with your day, which details flatter each face shape, how texture and density change the game, how color works with cut to brighten skin and lift the eyes, plus the most common pitfalls to skip, and a pocket decision guide you can use at your next appointment. Quick intro. This channel is for women who value health, grace, and practical beauty. I study aging well, I listen to real lives, and I translate the science into choices that feel good. If you want a style that matches your calendar and your spirit, you are in the right place, ready to find the cut that lets you breathe deeper. Let us begin. Hair after 60 deserves more intention than many of us realize. Why? Because hair is not static. It changes with time, just as our skin and bones do. Some strands soften, others feel wiry. Volume may thin at the crown, while silver or white threads weave in like streams of moonlight. Are these losses? Not at all. They are simply signs, messages from the body. What if instead of fighting these changes, we asked, how can I work with them? Think about it. Have you ever worn a sweater in the wrong neckline and felt your shoulders slump? Then you try on one with the right cut, and suddenly your posture straightens, your breathing deepens, and you feel taller without even trying. Hair works in much the same way. The right cut does more than decorate the head. It can lift the eyes, soften the lines around the mouth, and bring lightness to the whole face. Who would not want their reflection to greet them with that kind of ease? The beauty is that hair changes are not failures, they are clues. Finer hair asks for volume, coarser strands ask for movement. Silver hair reflects light differently, so it needs shapes that showcase that glow. When you honor these clues, you save energy in the morning. Instead of wrestling with a brush or covering up with a scarf, you simply shape and go. Imagine the relief of looking in the mirror and thinking, yes, that looks like me, today, not 20 years ago. Do you see the deeper gift here? A haircut chosen with intention becomes more than style. It becomes alignment. It matches your biology, your habits, even your mood. It can make a slow morning gentler, a lunch date brighter, and a family gathering more confident. In a way, your hair is like a trusted friend. It speaks for you before you even say a word. So the question is, what story do you want it to tell now? Now that we have seen why hair after 60 deserves intention, let us look closely at one cut that has held its ground for decades: the pixie. What makes this short style so enduring, and why do so many women describe it as liberating rather than limiting? The pixie has a presence that whispers instead of shouts. Its short sides, shaped crown, and light top movement act almost like a frame for the face. Have you noticed how some women with pixies seem to sparkle even before they speak? That is not an accident. This cut draws attention upward, to the eyes, the cheekbones, and the smile. When silver threads or salt and pepper tones catch the light, each angle of the pixie becomes a reflection point. It is almost as if the hair is dancing along with the expression. Another reason women choose it is practicality. Who does not want to save 10 minutes in the morning? Styling usually takes a dab of cream, a gentle tousle with the fingers, and you are out the door. Of course, there is a trade-off. The shape needs regular trims to keep its crisp outline, usually every 4 to 6 weeks. But ask yourself, do you view salon visits as a chore or as a moment of self-care? Many women see these quick appointments as small rituals, chances to pause, chat, and walk out renewed. Could that rhythm be part of your own routine? The Pixie is also surprisingly versatile. A textured version adds body for fine hair that often looks flat. An undercut variation can remove bulk from thick hair, giving shape without weight. Add a side-swept fringe, and you soften the lines across the forehead while guiding the eye upward. Each tweak shifts the personality of the cut, which means you are never locked into one look. Do you like clarity and definition, or do you prefer softness with a hint of playfulness? The Pixie can meet both. Some women worry that cutting hair short will make them look older. In truth, it can have the opposite effect. A well-shaped Pixie lifts rather than drags, clears the neckline, and places the spotlight where age truly shines, the eyes and the smile. Have you ever felt that sense of lightness when you take off a heavy necklace or drop a bag from your shoulder? A Pixie can feel like that every day. Think of lifestyle as well. If you love morning walks, travel often, or want hair that matches an active pace, the Pixie is a natural partner. It does not argue with hats, scarves, or humidity. It is quick, clean, and expressive. Imagine meeting a friend for coffee, hair shaped with nothing more than a fingertip tousle, and hearing her say, "You look fresh. Did you do something different?" That is the quiet power of this cut. The Pixie is not about hiding. It is about showing up. It says, "Here I am. No need for fuss, no need for cover." And maybe that is why so many women who try it describe a feeling of rediscovery. Could it be that less hair sometimes reveals more of you? After exploring the Pixie and its lively spirit, it is only fair to turn to its calm and elegant sister, the bob. Why does this cut seem to survive every trend, from beehives to beach waves, and still come out looking fresh? Perhaps because balance never goes out of style. The bob is a master of proportion. At chin length, it defines the face with clean lines. Angled forward, it adds a subtle lift, almost like a natural facelift without the doctor. Add layers, and the hair moves as you do, creating softness and flow. And then there is the long bob, or lob, that graceful middle ground that offers length for versatility, yet keeps the ease of shorter hair. Which of these appeals most to you? Do you crave sharp definition, or do you prefer gentle movement that sways when you turn your head? One of the bob's most endearing qualities is how adaptable it island imagine yourself heading into a business meeting. A smooth, polished bob tells the room you are prepared, composed, and not here for nonsense. Now, picture that same bob in the evening, styled with loose waves for dinner with friends. Suddenly, it feels relaxed, approachable, maybe even playful, all from the same haircut. Can you think of another style that shifts gears this easily? Maintenance is kinder too. While the Pixie asks you to see your stylist every few weeks, the bob holds its shape longer, often 6 to 8 weeks. That means fewer appointments, fewer calendar reminders, and maybe a few extra lunches with friends instead of time in the salon chair. Of course, if you enjoy those visits as part of your self-care routine, you can still go more often. But the point is, the bob is forgiving. It does not punish you if you miss a trim. Isn't that the kind of friend we all want? Styling also offers just enough choice to keep things interesting. A quick pass with a round brush can give it a sleek, professional edge. A few curls with a wand, or even rollers, can soften it into romantic waves. Some women like to tuck one side behind the ear for a touch of sophistication, while others add a clip or headband for charm. Do you like having small options that reflect your mood without demanding an hour in front of the mirror? That is the bob's gift. It bends without breaking. What about texture? If your hair is fine, a blunt bob creates weight at the ends, giving the illusion of fuller strands. If your hair is thick, layers keep it from feeling heavy, allowing movement without bulk. Curly or wavy hair finds a friend in the bob too. Instead of fighting against the natural pattern, the cut allows the curl to frame the face beautifully. Isn't it funny how sometimes the simplest shape makes the biggest difference? There is also something undeniably timeless about the bob. Think of the women through history who wore it, from flappers of the 1920 seconds to modern icons on red carpets. Decade after decade, the bob resurfaces, slightly tweaked, yet always familiar. It tells a story of elegance that never fades. Could this be why so many women return to it after experimenting with other cuts? It feels like home. The bob does not need to announce itself loudly. It carries quiet strength, a balance of structure and freedom. For women who want a style that can shift with life's rhythms, it may be the answer. The question is, what role do you want your hair to play? Silent support, ready to adapt, or a bold statement, always at the center? If balance and ease sound like your companions, the bob will endure for you too. When it comes to choosing a haircut after 60, face shape is like a quiet guide in the background. It does not dictate everything, but it helps you understand which details will flatter you most. Think of it the way a tailor adjusts a jacket. The fabric may be the same, but the cut changes everything. Why not let your hair be tailored to you in the same way? If your face is oval, you are in luck. Almost every style works well because the proportions are already balanced. A pixie can hug close or carry texture on top. A bob can be sharp and sleek or softly layered. Do you ever look in the mirror and think, I could wear almost anything? That is the gift of an oval shape. Round faces often want a touch of length. Adding a bit of height at the crown in a pixie or choosing a bob that angles forward in the front creates the illusion of a longer line. It is like putting on a necklace that draws the eye downward. Suddenly the face feels lifted, not wider. Would you like your hairstyle to do that little trick for you each morning? Square faces shine when the edges are softened. Wispy layers, sweeping fringes, or curves at the ends help ease strong angles. A bob that ends above or below the jaw keeps attention moving, rather than stopping right at the line. Why highlight sharp corners when you can guide the eye with softness? A heart-shaped face benefits from balance at the bottom. Fullness at the chin in a bob or a side-swept fringe in a pixie evens out the wider forehead. It is like drawing a gentle curve at the base of a heart. Have you noticed how a simple side part can instantly change how open and welcoming the face feels? For long faces, the key is width. Gentle waves in a bob or volume at the sides of a pixie add proportion and prevent the face from looking stretched. Avoid piling height on top without balance, unless you want to look like you borrowed hair from a skyscraper. Humor aside, width brings harmony. So the real question is, where do you want light to land, and where do you want softness? When you answer that, you begin to see how your haircut can highlight not only your features, but also your personality. We have seen how face shape acts like a quiet tailor, guiding where light and softness belong. But shape alone does not carry the whole story. The real engine of a good cut lies in texture and volume. Without them, even the most flattering outline will not perform the way you hope. Have you ever chosen a haircut that looked perfect in a magazine, only to discover your own hair refused to play along? That is texture reminding you who is in charge. Fine hair often feels delicate, almost slippery, as though it refuses to stay where you place it. Have you ever tried teasing it higher, only to watch it collapse like a deflated balloon? The smarter choice is to work with blunt edges for weight or add lift at the crown. A sharp bob with heavy ends creates the illusion of thickness. A pixie with textured layers can add dimension without effort. It is not about piling on more sprays. It is about letting the cut itself do the heavy lifting. Thick hair tells a different tale. Some women joke that their hair doubles as insulation in winter, only to become unbearable in summer. That is where smart layering, or even an undercut, saves the day. Removing excess bulk keeps movement alive and prevents that heavy helmet feeling. Notice how freeing it feels when hair actually swings instead of weighing you down. Who knew a haircut could make your neck feel cooler and your shoulders lighter? And what about waves and curls? Too often, they are straightened into silence. But why silence what was meant to sing? A tousled bob that allows bends to fall naturally, or a pixie that celebrates springy curls looks lively and fresh. Over-flattening curls is like telling them to sit quietly when they were born to dance. Wouldn't life be easier if you let them do what they do best? The lesson here is simple. Hair is not asking for control, it is asking for cooperation. Think about the products that leave your scalp feeling clean, the tools you will actually use day after day. A shelf of unused gadgets will not help, but one cream and one brush you trust can change everything. The right cut honors the engine of your hair, working with texture and volume instead of against them, so you can walk away each morning with ease rather than frustration. We have looked at face shape, texture, and volume, but let us be honest, none of it matters if the style does not fit into your daily life. Lifestyle and personality often end up being the deciding pair. Have you ever admired a haircut on someone else, only to realize it would drive you crazy within a week? That is not about beauty, it is about rhythm. If your mornings are already packed, a pixie may feel like a gift, quick to style, easy to freshen up, and always neat. Do you really want to spend 15 minutes with a blow-dryer when you could already be out walking, meeting a friend, or savoring your first coffee? The pixie answers that with a quiet no. It keeps the pace without fuss, like a reliable friend who never runs late. But if you enjoy variety and do not mind a few extra minutes of play, the bob opens more doors. Smooth and polished for a meeting, softly curled for dinner, or tucked behind one ear for a casual day. Do you like small changes that reflect your mood? A bob makes that easy. It is the kind of haircut that shifts gracefully with your plans, never locking you into one note. Personality also speaks here. Some women love the moment when heads turn as they walk in. A pixie can create that reaction without ever shouting for attention. It is bold in its simplicity, confident without apology. Do you like sending that kind of message? If so, the pixie may be your match. Others prefer steady elegance, something that feels refined but approachable. A bob carries this balance beautifully. It whispers rather than demands, yet always looks intentional. Imagine yourself at brunch, then later at a theatre, the same cut fitting both with ease. Who would not want a style that flexes this well? So ask yourself, do I want a haircut that moves fast with me, or one that bends and adapts as I go? When lifestyle and personality line up with the right cut, hair stops being a chore and starts becoming an ally. That is when the mirror greets you with recognition instead of resistance. We have seen how lifestyle and personality guide the choice of a cut, but there is another partner that can transform everything: color. Hair and color walk hand in hand, shaping the mood of a style in ways that length alone never could. Have you noticed how the same haircut looks completely different when paired with silver tones versus golden highlights? That is no coincidence, it is light at work. Short hair in particular acts like a spotlight. A pixie or cropped cut lets silver, white, or even soft pastel shades shine as if the head itself were a prism. Light bounces off every angle, creating a modern and fresh look. Have you ever seen someone with a sharp pixie and natural silver strands glowing under daylight? It can look more youthful than any bottle of dye. Bobs, by contrast, offer room to play with gradients. A classic bob can carry highlights that follow movement, catching light as the hair swings. Lowlights add depth, making fine strands appear fuller and richer. Balayage, that hand-painted blend, gives softness and dimension that feels effortless. Why settle for flat when your hair can become a living canvas? The question then becomes, which tones serve you best? Do you want colors that brighten the skin, reduce shadows, and echo the shade of your eyes? Silver hair paired with cool blue eyes looks like moonlight. Honey tones near brown eyes create warmth that feels inviting. Even gentle pastel touches can add playfulness without looking forced. Which combination feels most like you? One truth stands above trends. Healthy shine always beats heavy dye. Color should enhance, not mask. Overprocessing may hide silver for a while, but it often leaves the strands dull and tired. A rich gloss or well-placed highlight, on the other hand, adds vitality and lets your natural beauty lead. Do you really need to erase time, or is it better to let light tell your story in a kinder way? When color and cut cooperate, the result is harmony. You step into the mirror and see not just a hairstyle, but a reflection that feels whole. That balance of structure and light is what keeps a style from being ordinary and turns it into something personal. We have looked at how color and cut can work as partners in light, but even the best idea can stumble if small mistakes creep in. That is why knowing the pitfalls matters just as much as knowing the styles. Have you ever seen a haircut that looked almost right, yet something felt off? Often, it is not the entire cut, but one detail out of place. For pixies, the crown is the first place to check. A pixie that sits flat on top can make the whole style feel heavy and dull. Adding a bit of lift or light texture keeps the shape alive. Do you really want your hair to look like a helmet when it could feel like a breeze? The fringe matters too. A square, blunt fringe can harden the face, while a soft curve or side sweep brightens the eyes. Think of it as the difference between a curtain slammed shut and one gently pulled aside to let light in. Bobs have their own traps. One of the most common is length. If a bob ends right at the widest point of the jaw, it can exaggerate width instead of balance it. Skimming just above or just below creates harmony instead of heaviness. Have you ever cut a photograph too close and lost the natural frame? That is exactly how a misjudged bob length can feel. Edges also need attention. A bob with boxy, blunt edges may look sharp at first, but over time it becomes stiff. Adding airy layers breaks up that block and allows the hair to move. Nobody wants their style to resemble a cardboard box when it could be a flowing ribbon. The most important factor, however, is the person holding the scissors. Mature hair has its own texture, density, and growth patterns. A stylist who understands these changes will cut with respect for comfort and long-term health of the scalp. Ask yourself, does my stylist know how to work with silver strands, thinning spots, or wiry sections? If not, it may be time for a new partner in the chair. Avoiding these pitfalls does not require luck, only awareness. When you know what to watch for, you can guide the conversation and leave the salon with a cut that feels intentional rather than accidental. After all, why settle for almost right when the details can make it just right? We have walked through styles, colors, and common mistakes, but how do you bring all of it together without feeling overwhelmed? That is where a simple guide comes in, almost like a checklist you can carry in your mind. Have you ever wished someone would just hand you the rules in plain English? This is as close as it gets. First, face shape. Think of it as framing a painting. The artwork is already beautiful, but the right frame brings harmony. An oval face can wear almost anything, while a round face benefits from length or angles. A square jaw softens with curves or layers. A heart-shaped face brightens with fullness at the chin. A long face shines when you add width. Do you notice how one small shift in shape can suddenly make everything feel balanced? Second, texture and density. Fine hair loves blunt edges or lift at the crown. Thick hair feels lighter when bulk is removed, and waves or curls are happiest when encouraged. Instead of fighting your hair, what if you let it show its own personality? Would mornings feel easier if you stopped ironing every curl into submission? Third, lifestyle. Some of us want quick mornings with hair that takes 2 minutes and no more. Others enjoy variety, a different look depending on the mood or the event. Ask yourself, how much time do I really want to spend with a mirror each day? The answer usually points you toward Pixie or Bob without much debate. Fourth, personality. Do you like the room to notice when you enter, even without a word? Then the bold clarity of a Pixie may speak for you. Do you prefer elegance that adapts with every plan, from brunch to theatre, without stealing the spotlight? Then the steady grace of a bob may feel right. Which message do you want your hair to send on your behalf? Finally, test it. Try on a wig, or use a virtual preview, and then take a few photos. Do not just ask, how do I look, but how do I feel? If your smile comes faster, if your shoulders relax, that is your answer. A haircut is not about chasing youth, it is about choosing alignment. When style fits your shape, texture, rhythm, and spirit, confidence follows naturally. We have walked through guides and checklists, but sometimes the simplest way to clarity is not rules, it is questions. Gentle questions, the kind that do not pressure but instead invite reflection. After all, a haircut is not a math problem. It is more like choosing a companion. So let us ask, which cut would actually make your mornings kinder? Can you picture yourself waking up, running a hand through your hair, and stepping out the door without fuss? If that image brings relief, the Pixie may already be whispering to you. Now consider your daily rhythm. Do you spend mornings walking with neighbors, afternoons reading in your favorite chair, or evenings helping family? Which haircut supports those patterns without stealing extra time? Would a bob with its flexibility fit those shifts? Or would the simplicity of a Pixie better match your pace? It is not about which is objectively better. It is about which one gives you space to live. Posture is another question. Have you noticed how certain styles seem to lift the body itself? A cut that frames the face well can actually make you stand taller, shoulders back, chin lifted. Which one gives you that feeling of alignment? Think of it as hair acting like an invisible string pulling you upward, no yoga class required. Visibility also matters. Which style helps you feel seen without effort? Do you like a Pixie that draws attention straight to your eyes, or a bob that offers elegance while still framing the smile? Which one makes you feel noticed in a way that is comfortable, not overwhelming? Imagine walking into a room and feeling that your hair is speaking kindly for you before you say a single word. The key is to answer not only with thoughts but with your body. Pay attention to the cut that makes your shoulders drop in ease, the one that brings a natural smile before you even realize it. That answer is usually the right one, because the best style is not the one that looks perfect on a chart, but the one that lets you breathe deeper and live lighter. You now hold the map: face shape for balance, texture and density for performance, lifestyle and personality for fit, color as your partner in light, pitfalls to skip so details do not trip you. Then one test: try a wig or a virtual preview, take photos, and ask your body how it feels. If your shoulders drop and your smile comes fast, you have your answer. Here is the high note. You are not chasing youth. You are choosing alignment. A pixie can speak with quiet strength. A bob can carry steady elegance. Both can honor silver and celebrate life now. The right choice is the one that makes your mornings kinder and your days wider. If this helped, tell me in the comments which path you are leaning toward, pixie or bob, and why. Share one detail you will ask your stylist to change at your next visit. Tap like if you want more calm, useful guidance. Subscribe and turn on notifications so new episodes find you. Want more? Visit the channel and explore videos on silver-friendly color, scalp comfort, low-effort styling, and outfit palettes that brighten the face. Save this guide, re-watch before your next cut, and send it to a friend who is ready for a gentle reset. Your hair speaks before you do. Let it say calm, healthy, and beautifully you.